You're looking down the barrel of an American-made safety air gun. The most powerful safety guns in the world. Probably blow your head clean off. And the question you must be asking is, do I have 30 pounds per square inch static pressure, or don't I? Tell you the truth, can't remember myself. So you gotta ask yourself, do you feel lucky? Well, do ya?
Being safe isn't about luck. It's about protection, prevention, and precaution. So when it comes to safety issues, compliance is a must. Employees don't want injuries, and companies want workers to be safe. Companies want their employees on the job, doing the job. If employees aren't there, everyone loses: the employee, the company, and ultimately the customer. That's why it's essential to use precautionary devices, such as protective barriers, safety interlock switches, and guards. Employees routinely wear personal protective equipment, such as protective footwear, bump caps, hearing protection, or safety glasses. However, many organizations don't comply with OSHA standards for the use of compressed air for cleaning purposes. Not surprisingly, when OSHA inspectors visit various facilities across the country, violations of hand and portable power tools and equipment are cited more frequently than many other more common categories, such as hand protection, ventilation, and eye or face protection. Why is this a problem area if companies and employees are working so hard to comply? To find out, let's look at the OSHA standards and the issues they address. There are three basic concerns surrounding the use of safety air guns: excessive air pressure, protection against flying chips, and excessive noise. OSHA requires that in the event that the nozzle is dead-ended, for example, if the tip of an air gun is blocked, the static pressure at the point of blockage can be no more than 30 psi. The purpose of the standard is to prevent injuries or death caused by dead-ending an air gun. What could happen? Well, say you stop the airflow with your hand, or someone accidentally shot you with the gun in such a way that the tool is dead-ended. If the static air pressure is below 30 psi, there is virtually no health hazard. But with normal factory operating pressure of 80 to 120 psi, this could be life-threatening. At standard operating pressures, air can enter the body through a cut or penetration of the skin and cause soft tissue damage. It can be very painful, and this type of injury can actually lead to amputation. Discharged compressed air can also easily rupture internal organs if introduced into body orifices. There are two ways to comply with this standard. First, lower the line pressure below 30 psi before it reaches the gun. Or second, use a gun with a specially designed nozzle tip that, if blocked, limits the static pressure below 30 psi. If you use a regulator to lower the line pressure before the gun, then you lower the nominal working pressure. Some users misinterpret the standard, reasoning that lower air pressure is the only acceptable method of compliance. However, if you can use a gun that is designed to limit the static pressure to below 30 psi if the tip is blocked, then you can operate at higher working pressures and still satisfy OSHA's safety standard. Compare the two options side by side. This air gun is regulated to a 30 psi line pressure, and this gun meets the static pressure standard through its nozzle design. Look at the difference in productivity. Whenever workers are blowing off debris with an air gun in close quarters, they're subject to chip flyback. This is the tendency of loose particles or chips to fly back into the operator's face, eyes, or skin, which may cause injuries. To prevent this, OSHA requires that effective chip guarding be incorporated into the workplace. This can be accomplished with devices such as screens or barriers that are separate from the actual air nozzle. However, some safety air guns are designed with nozzles which divert a small portion of the air to form a protective cone of air around the nozzle. While air cone nozzles are generally acceptable for protecting the operator, use common sense. Evaluate the situation and rely on eye protection and other safety devices when appropriate.